It feels good to say that Dynasty Warriors is back. For a while, the future of Musou was looking bleak. Warriors Orochi 4 was fine, but wasn't really as fun as Warriors Orochi 3. Samurai Warriors 5 I enjoyed, but really lacked content to make me stay after the story mode. And of course, Dynasty Warriors 9. It was a huge disappointment for a lot of fans. So when the gameplay trailer for Dynasty Warriors Origins came out, I was hyped, I was shocked, and I was curious. First of all, it looked like an actual war was taking place with the amount of troops there were on the screen. And after playing the game for myself, I can proudly attest to the fact that there really were that many troops in battle. There was a war being waged on my screen as well as on my PC.
Be your adversary. The enemy officer.
The gameplay of this game really had me hooked. I think Dynasty Warriors Origins managed to fuse together the difficulty of older Musou games with that modern Warriors game power fantasy of decimating thousands of peons. Though what might disappoint fans is the return of cloned weapons, and we even get less weapons than what we got in base Dynasty Warriors 9. I will say though, that this is undone by how good every weapon feels in the game. Origins really made every playable weapon feel like they have their own unique spin to them. That, and of course, you're only playing as one character for the entirety of the game. Yes, one character. A completely original protagonist, made by the game. And yes, they do have their own backstory that plays into the story. Did I enjoy that? I feel like it's a 50-50. First of all, the main character looks great. I love his design, but I kinda wonder why we couldn't have just created our own character. This is a silent protagonist that's basically just a stand-in for us, the player. The game even lets multiple of the historical characters flirt with our protagonists.
Of course. If I can stay here with you, there is nothing else I desire.
I would love to introduce you to
I
Juguliang.
wish to stay with you all the time. So I think I'll build a life-size doll of you. Tonight, I'm going to take all of your measurements.
Paul?
I'll be as accurate and as thorough as possible.
I, who cared for naught but myself,
What? Huh?
found myself
What?
desiring you.
Huh?
Now that battle looms on the horizon,
Okay,
I will wait the day you become mine. For now,
Whoa!
once I have claimed all under heaven, I swear I shall have you as well.
And somewhere to sit and relax before we continue. Tonight,
Bro
I
is
wish
confessing
etch
to me.
the
Go on,
features of
you.
your face and the sound of your voice into my memory.
Whoa, that is very romantic, Guan Yu. Okay. Okay. Took me to Pound Town, I guess. Second, I did find the backstory interesting. I liked the protagonist in Juha, but I kind of didn't like Bailuan. His motivations came across as contradictory for most of the time. And the game doesn't give a resolution to him. So it's obvious they're sequel baiting him should Koei Tecmo decide to continue the story of Origins. And yes, this also means that not only do we have one playable character plus multiple playable companions, but we also suffered a lot of cut content from the roster. I do understand that we have less characters due to the game ending quite earlier in the historical timeline, as well as having to account for the various dialogue bond events. But I did feel like they cut out characters that should have been in this game. The Cao family, such as Cao Pi, Cao Shu, and Cao Ren, should have been in this game. The Chiao sisters and Lu Lingqi should have been here as well. They probably would have had a generic weapon or retained their Dynasty Warriors 9 design like some characters, but I wouldn't have minded it. But speaking of designs, the new ones we did get, I really liked. We both get new faces and old, which is what I would have preferred the direction Samurai Warriors 5 went to. Instead of rebranding everyone, rebrand some and keep the rest. And we got that here in Dynasty Warriors Origins. That does also mean the game goes in that direction of having less gimmicky characters compared to its predecessors. Everyone is sort of more grounded, personality-wise. I do miss the wacky Zhang Jiao, but love the Machiavellian Dong Zhuo, as well as characters not relying on saying that word associated with them. You don't hear Liu Bei spamming the word benevolence every time. Even Liu Bu seems like his constant anger is dialed back, though that could just be a difference in voice acting. Speaking of voice acting, thank God that the English dub of Dynasty Warriors Origins is way better than Dynasty Warriors 9 by a landslide.
Observe! This is a miracle bestowed upon me by the heavens! Ah!
I want you to put the word out there. We back up.
Now, is it better than the voice cast from Dynasty Warriors 8 and prior games? It's really hard for me to say right now, because the old cast, we had them consistently from Dynasty Warriors 4 or 5 up until 8. So of course, those voices for the characters were so deeply ingrained in my head. Even after playing Origins, when I imagine these characters speaking in English, I think of the old cast. Though I didn't feel weird listening to the Origins voices. In fact, I think the English cast did a great job. Not to mention we have voice actors who have voiced in Musou games before that are now voicing in this game. Like the voice of Liu Bu used to voice Sima Yi. It is great that they got experienced actors to voice the English dub. My only complaints are some characters talk like this.
Quite the opposite. I'm thrilled that it is finally beginning.
What's up with that long pause? Finally beginning.
I am Guoja. I only just met these two at the governor's castle.
Visually, this game looks beautiful. Not just the character models, but the environments, the fire. I used to think Dynasty Warriors 9 looked good, and then Origins just blew that completely out of the water. It's not even a competition. Now, I was playing this game on a 4070 Ti on the best graphics settings, so of course it's going to look amazing. I don't know how the game looks on lower settings, but for high-end PCs and console players, this game looks wonderful. The music of this game, I really enjoyed it. It's not a surprise. One of the best things about Musou games is the soundtrack, and it always delivers. I love the remixes of classic Dynasty Warriors themes, as well as the new music they added. For story, I've only played Liu Bei's story so far. I haven't played Cao Cao and the Sun family stories yet, but I will say that we do have a more in-depth story here. There were moments in the game that I felt went a tad by too quick. Just like the events after Hulao Gate in some parts of the game, but I feel the latter might just be because it could have been shown in the other stories. Since I only played through Shu, I can't say for sure yet. There are also branching paths to this game that lead to a true ending. For Liu Bei's story, unfortunately, the true ending was sort of underwhelming and made no difference. I heard that Wu makes no sense either, but I do think that Cao Cao's branching paths actually make a difference from what I've heard and seen. Now, do I recommend this game? Hell yes. Might be early, but this is definitely a Game of the Year contender for me. Should you play this game? If you've never played Dynasty Warriors before, absolutely! What if you've never played a Musou game, period? Still, absolutely. I think this is a perfect starting point if you want to become a fan of the series. and as well as the gameplay being very friendly to beginners and those seeking a challenge. And if you're interested in learning about the history of the Three Kingdoms period of ancient China, this is a good start to build your interest. I think this is a game that old fans and new will definitely have a blast. And I know I'm going to be playing this for hundreds of hours.
Going down.
Or evenly matched. Still,
Going down.
keep your guard up.
In the interim, somehow, you go on ahead. Defeat Dong Zhuo and put an end to this carnage.
A worthy foe indeed. Now the real battle begins.
Leave this to us. We will hold him off in the interim somehow.
Strongest. I cannot lose.
Going down.
We're back on even footing. Now we can really show them what we're made of.